This episode is brought to you by Cube Gallery. For more than 5 years, the gallery has mounted shows of engaging artworks and has also represented the Visayas region in various international fairs. Aside from its physical space in Crossroads, Banilad, Cebu City, you can check out their online collection on artsy.net/cube-gallery. I'll put a link in the show notes. This month at Cube Gallery, Myriad by Lin Reboja. Lin Reboja explores the complexities of the human psyche with his fourth solo exhibition, Myriad, opening on September 26 at 6 p.m. at Cube Gallery. While Lin paints a fictitious world inhabited by beasts and bizarre characters, they are autobiographic and metaphorical accounts of his introspections. Catch his show in Cube Gallery opening September 26 at 6 p.m. Myriad by Lin Reboja. This episode is also sponsored by Handurao Pizza. I've had a lot of conversations with musicians in the past, and many of them talk about how Handurao Pizza is a great venue for local music. I myself have had many memories of playing music in Handurao Pizza, so I'm really happy to have them as a sponsor. So if you're looking for a place to chill, a spot that supports local artists and musicians, a place to enjoy delicious homegrown pizza and ice-cold below-zero beer, look no further. Visit Handurao Pizza. They've got plenty of branches, and you can find them listed on their website at handuraopizza.com. Or if you want to have their wonderful pizza delivered to you, you can get them in GrabFood or on Food Panda. Thank you, Handurao Pizza, for sponsoring the episode. Let's get to the show. Welcome to 032 Conversations, the podcast where we talk to creatives, see how they live, and how they do their work. I'm your host, Carlo Villarica. Quick update on Manu, my firstborn's stitches. So the doctor got the stitches. He's fine. So the stitches are out. There's a wound there, but he's basically, it's like as if nothing happened. It's like he's just back to his jolly self. And the only difference is that his parents, me and my wife, are paranoid every time he walks inside the bathroom. But other than that, he is totally okay. I mean, we had to go to the doctor twice to have the stitches removed because he was freaking out the first time he went. So the second time, they had to sedate him again. Fortunately and unfortunately, I was not there for that, and the wife was the one who did it. But everything's good. Everything is good. Over the weekend, I go cycling a lot. So over the weekend, I went cycling. It's fun because we're a big, by my standards, a big group. Usually most of the time I'm by myself when I go cycling, or if there's a group, at more or less we're like 3 people. But over the weekend we were like 5 of us. We explored the barangay Kabanggahan. I think that's how you pronounce it. We explored barangay Kabanggahan, and then it was really cool. There was like a really good mix of good road, gravel road, and then a little off-road areas. And it was fun, and it was a nice, easy, chill ride. So that's one of the problems I have with cycling in Cebu. So every Sunday I go with a friend of mine and my cousin, and they're new to cycling, and I don't want to just bring them up to the hills, because what's going to happen is the hills are hard. If you're new to cycling and you go up like a mountain or a hill, it's hard. And then Cebu doesn't really have many easy hills. Like, if you're a beginner and you're just learning. So the thing to do is to get them interested in cycling, and then just to get their legs moving, their time on the bike. Basically, they got to get some time on the bike. And the flat places in Cebu is basically they're in the city. And it's not cycling in the city, it's not the best. If you're just gonna circle around different areas, it's not really ideal. So it's been a bit difficult looking for flattish roads to go around Cebu. So if you're a cyclist and you're listening and you know a place, please let me know. I'm always looking for those types of rides because especially, so the struggle is it's hard to find a flat area, a large enough flat area so you can put a lot of kilometers in your legs. And then also you want to go to an area that is not heavy traffic, that there's not a lot of traffic. So even our ride to Barangay Kabanggahan, we still had to pass Pitos. If you're from Cebu, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, but basically Pitos is this straight road, and there's a good amount of cars coming through. So it only becomes quite nice as soon as you hit Barangay Kabanggahan. And then the funny thing is when you hit Barangay Kabanggahan from Pitos, as soon as you take that right turn, it's this really ridiculously steep hill. I mean, it's really short, but it's really steep in the beginning, and it was really funny because I turned my bike, and then I'm like, oh, there's this hill. It's right here. It came out of nowhere, and then you could hear the collective gasp of people behind me. Like, there's like, yeah, they're looking up, and then it's, and then you can hear all of the gears changing in their bikes. It was fun. But as soon as we got up there, it was quite short. As soon as we got up it was really, dare I say, relaxing once we were up there cycling. So it was fun. So we went up around Barangay Kabanggahan, and it was pretty much like a slow downhill ride from there. So very chill. And then, it was good. I'm not used to cycling with a big group. I mean, 5 is not a big group, but it was a big group for me. And it was cool to just hang out with people, fellow cyclists. The other fun thing was they all had gravel bikes, except for my one friend who brought in a mountain bike. And gravel bikes are pretty rare in Cebu. And if you're not into cycling, congratulations, we're done talking about cycling. Oh, one last thing. We're done talking about cycling. This episode is sponsored by Kent Combs. Full disclosure, Kent Combs is owned by my really good friend Jason Almendras. He's one of the guys who started 032 with me. And if there's one guy I trust with good taste, it's Jason. Before he got married, I believe his description in social media was something like, I like nice things, which was code for he likes really cool, really fashionable, high quality stuff. So if he decides to do something or bring something in, it's really good. So Kent Combs, guys, it's time to stop using your girl's hairbrush and get yourself a decent comb. And not those mass-produced things you get in the grocery. I'm talking about Kent Combs. Kent Combs are handmade combs from Britain's oldest hairbrush manufacturer. Do your hair a favor. Buy a Kent comb. Because Kent Combs are handmade pocket combs, and they're made from large sheets of cellulose acetate rather than being molded. Thus, the material is tactile, flexible, and strong. Kent combs have rounded teeth which ensure a smooth and comfortable action that glides effortlessly through without scratching or damaging the hair or scalp. You can follow them on Instagram at Kent Philippines. That's Kent Philippines. Or you can order from the assembly online. Use the promo code KENT, K-E-N-T, for a 10% discount. Assembly.032.com. Look for the Kent Combs area and use the promo code Kent. Or just go to this show's show notes, and there's a link to the Kent Combs collection, and then automatic 10% discount. In this week's episode, we have Ezekiel Sullano. I hope that's how you pronounce Ezekiel. A lot of people call him Zeke. So Zeke Sullano. I first got to know Zeke because he did a shoot for 032. He shot the lookbook of our very first hoodie. And I think I'm not sure how I met him actually. But he used to work also like in the front desk of this co-working space. And then I remember talking to him, and one thing led to another, and he shot the lookbook for our very first hoodie. And Zeke does a lot of things. I think I ask every guest, can you state your name and what do you do? And he's like, oh, the hustle is real. Tanan, he does everything. He's a photographer, videographer. He became an indoor cycling instructor, which I love this story. This is really fun. And he even said, like, if you want me to do laundry, he'll do it. So I wanted to talk to Zeke because it was really fun to get a peek into what it is like to have this like this freelance life, because that's a lot of people these days, that's the nature of their work. They're freelancing. They do photography, they'll do videography. For a while he was even doing like layouts and stuff, and we talk about it, and he stopped doing that because that just wasn't his strength. So he started to focus on photography and videography, and somehow through doing those things he fell into becoming an indoor cycling instructor in Zinc. My wife has been going to Zinc as to do her exercise, and she's really been enjoying it. And for a while, she was commenting about Zeke's class because he would play local music in his class to get the vibe going before he's pummeled them down with indoor cycling. I've tried it. It's hard. Yeah, indoor cycling is hard. It's a really good workout. So, it was interesting to talk to Zeke about it to get a sense of how he tries. Because he still does photography and videography. So how he balances all of these things and how he got into doing all of these things. But before we get to that episode, I'm going to be releasing an Ask Me Anything soon. I don't know, maybe within the month or next month. So if there's something you want to ask me, if there's a question that you have, then feel free to send out an email, info@032.com. That's 032 in letters, and then just make the subject line question. And if it's a good one, I'll include it in the Ask Me Anything episode. And lastly, we have a new episode every Tuesday. So subscribe. You can find us anywhere you can find podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, or any podcast app. Okay, let's talk to Zeke.
Yeah, I realized you graduated in 2015?
Yes.
That's only 4 years ago. That's not a long time, bay.
But the thing you need to know is that wag ko na graduate on time.
Amo ba? How long did it take you to graduate?
So, I'm 3 semesters late. Okay, in our school, sa UP Cebu in particular, gamay ra ang population. So, if you fail a subject, like on the first sem, kuha na nimo siya sa first sem na po next year.
Okay,
so
they don't offer it
that
again.
pushes back a lot of stuff. Like, if naka prerequisite ni, so di ka take, so buhat pa ka. So, 3 semesters late. My student number is, a lot of people are, or this laganan musulti sa student number because maklaro akong edad, di lang ko musulti, basta mo ni. My student number is 2009 ang start. So I went inside college, or the Sudgo College, 2009. And the graduate ko by 2015. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah.
Okay. So, I was wondering about that because for somebody who's only graduated 4 years ago,
yeah,
you've done a lot of work over the years. So, I assume that even while you were in college, you're still doing some work.
Rocket.
Oh.
No, kayo, started off with like first year gid sa college kay ipa-contest mo na nila ang NSTP bitaw nga shirt. Like siguro unlike San Carlos or unlike the other schools, ilang NSTP I think nga shirt was naagi na naka-brand na siya nga mo ni siyang design pamalit ra mo tanan. Then I guess sa amoa kay tungod kay gamay ra lagi. Every year ilang ipa-contest like design mo diha og t-shirt nya ang makadaog kay na premyo nya mo na atong gamiton as a design for your batch NSTP. So ako ra may submit.
Amo ba?
Upat akong gi-submit. Upat ra po na nang gawas sa pilianan niko ako ni tanan. Sound. So there dito and I got the idea nga naganahan ang mga tao like ningon sa labay nindot ang shirt bisag batik yung kito pagka Photoshop nga kanang luod you guys looking back at it now ba luod. But then mo to napilian siya. I got the idea of mag-design kag mga t-shirts ha. So I designed shirts ang puhunan laway ra gid ang puhunan. I just ask people hey I print it out diyan ka mapalitan ni or statement shirt lang good. So I graduated BS management so more siya accounting style but business gap. So we're familiar with kind of debit credit nga in terms. And I noticed nga debit credit is DC. And then at the time 2009, 2010 uso pa kito mga dagko bulky bitaw kay nga sapatos nga DC.
Those DC shoes.
Yeah, so I murag gikawat nako or murag kanang pirated the design DC. Nya murag gibutang ra og debit credit sa ilaw. So daghang mga tao nakaingon la that's funny, that's a good pun. So daghang namalit and that's where I got the idea nga extra income din ako da. So that's where all the hustle started.
Yeah?
Yeah.
From those t-shirts?
T-shirts. It grew from t-shirts and then I got somewhere along the way, 2 or 3 years later, I got a camera. So good mga birthday. And then here we are now. That's a very in a nutshell thing.
Yeah, because like, so, I know yung...
Ako ni silent.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, bye.
Sorry. Sorry, audience.
Ako sad.
Sorry, audience of 032 Conversations. So unprofessional of your guests.
I know, I forget to do it all the time. No, like, I was thinking about, like, the... Murag, being a creative now ba? Like, being somebody who does, like, freelance work these days. I like to call it, like, we're all, who said it to me? I forgot na who. But so they said we're all, like, slashers. So, like, yeah, or slashers. Ana. So, like, you know, you, like, ikaw, like, let's just look at you. You recently started in your element, your interview show. You've been doing freelance work for a long time. Videography, photography. Yeah. And then, you're even a musician in, Bethany.
Used to, yes.
Yeah, you used to be the bassist. But you're a musician. You used to be a musician.
Yes, yeah.
And then, also, you've managed to hack your way into getting fit pagyud and getting people to pay you to get fit.
That is the weirdest one in my resume. Never in my yesteryears would I thought mag-gym instructor na pre. Now.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. So, I want to just get started though with your with the freelancing. So you said it started in college.
Uh-huh.
Basically, I'm curious to see what it is like to have like this whole freelancing life, no? Okay, and just get a sense because you're really doing a lot. So how did you first get started freelancing? So you started in college, you're doing like those shirt printing, and yeah, then eventually, what made you decide photography or videography?
Okay, so the thing is, after the shirt phase in my life, so all the while I was part of an organization called Youth for Christ. So mga religious siya nga org that gathers the youth. And every year, naami 3 or 4 conferences. There's area, sector, regional, and national. And nakabantay ko nga, naagi sila at the end of the conferences would last mga 3 days. At the end of each day, gather nila tanang participants, like thousands of people. Yan na sila highlights at the end of the day. Yan ka nang ganina raman na itabo. Yan na, mandayon. It's what we call karon as SDEs, same day edits. Magnainganyo ko ato. So, I already had a camera kay, well, not mine, sa ako manghod. So, ako siyang Pullman. Then ako siyang gamiton sa amo ang mga conferences in Mactan because I used to be based in Mactan. So Mactan lang sa amo mga event, ako mag-picture, ako mag-video. Then at the end of the day, kay suwayan ako nga ma-edit ni dayon tanan kay para ma-amaze sila. And then people outside the organization started to notice that nagikuha na ko nila for like nagsugod na ginagmay like birthday party or party silang office kaya pwede mo pa-picture galang ka na mo 500 sige ma'am okay ra gid tanan. Then it ni flow ang work to the school, and then I met people nga who are in the industry na fast forward ba, then the connections grew from there and mo na to.
What was like your first like real kind of noteworthy? Because I'm assuming like especially in the beginning, like the YFC, the birthday parties, you're probably like also figuring out how to learn and just do photography.
Oh, yeah, in a way. So, more big break, you think?
Yeah, or like or something kind of more like, oh wait, like I'm here. I'm doing this for somebody. Kind of you've shot a lot of people over
Sounds
the years.
so wrong in the wrong context.
Diba?
But yeah, let me see. That's a good question. Okay, I think wala gid say big break, but gradual gid siya all the way. Because I started with I have friends. The thing with me is that usually pag college or pag elementary na ko or let's say high school, first year, ang akong barkada was third year or fourth year. So when I got to college, first year ko, akong barkada kasi mga third year, fourth year, good. And I tend to gravitate to more few years older na ako nga people. Then when I got to more padung na graduate, some people were already working in the industry like Sunstars, Fiona Escandor, kaya nasa the Sunstar, then I knew Nat Ibanez from my TV. Then nagsugod na jud ko nga mag-assist. Mag-assist ko while bringing my camera on downtime sa shoots or like features. Picture ko kakuha, then I tag whoever it is na they're featuring po. And then eventually, they noticed niya marag okay man niya mga shots. Pwede man siyang suwayan. And then there, gradual na siya nga. Pwede, wala mong photographer, pwede ikaw may shoot for a while. Or like, for karon lang. Okay. And then, people started to notice. They saw nga ka na marag, sige, ikaw lang sa shoot. And then, regular na siya.
So who was like or like what organization or who was it kanang murag that stood out early on?
I would have to say Z Lifestyle Zona because my friend Nath worked at my TV and murag he had a friend like Shari who's now his girlfriend. Kaya murag siya ni suggest nga swayin ni siya kay murag pwede ni siya. Then my first shoot for Z was this couple who lives in somewhere in Mandaue. They own a granite na business.
Okay.
So marsha ginani, they just talk more conversations among the writer and the kinsagi feature, and I take the background what they're doing. Then the photos ended up really good. Pagka-print na kay indot siya tanawon.
Is that your first time you saw your photos in print?
Yeah, naggunit ko sa ako yung nagpicture on you, oh my God. And then naganahan po si Shari at the time. She was the editor-in-chief. And dito na every other month kay naana ko shoot with Z. And at the time, kay Z was kusog pa mo print baka I think ni kuan man sila where they're currently now on digital na lang.
Yeah.
Because all print is really down right now. But at the time, 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, halos every month print man sila. And halos every month nakasada ko ngan sa issue.
Yeah.
And that was good for me. And that was really good, especially because ang mga tao nga gi-feature sa Z is more big people in Cebu. And most of them are like some of them kay if maganahan sa work kay kuwaon ka balik, can you take a photo for me, for my family, or like mapakay ko nag-video ato photo pa. Yung photo sa mga event.
So did you release? You were able to get like clients
from...
Yeah,
that was gilang main point of things sa Z. Kay people know, people in print don't really get paid that much, just so everyone will know. So you don't really get much out of newspapers or magazines, especially if you're a photographer. But the connections you get is really worthwhile. Okay, if they really like your work and they think nga why lain makakuha the way you do in a unique way. So kuhaon nga nila again and again.
Yeah, because that's another. Because I feel like your superpower in a way is your kanang ability to meet like so many other people. Kagets ka? Nga,
I've been told, nalagi ka sa everywhere. I've been told by Rachel Arandilla, anong migo mo ani niya? Migasan mo ani, kailasan mo ani. So yeah, I get what you point.
yeah, so like, I mean, it has to be more than just, working in Z, no? There has to be
Siguro,
something.
I used to shoot gigs as well. So, in college, if I had a band sa college, if dili kami ang manukar or mamilabot sa lineup, magdako kamera, ma-shoot ko within the school. Yan naman yung mga guest band. Like, I'm pretty sure Rescue Hero was there, pero wala pa ko nagsugal ito. Like, inana ba? Yung mga guest band, yung shoot ko nila, mag-istorya, mga tana ko, nasa like gig in other places.
So you talk to the band?
I would, if I could. But then, most of them would be like, kinsa na ba sa ni bata, fanboy,
Okay.
Di man agad. But then again, before, magtanaw ka na ako before. It's very different from who you'd meet now. Karon kay medyo confident na, slight, nga Zeke, inyo makaila. But before, is ka nang nerdy, ka nang glasses, gibugas, nga wise sense of fashion, whatever. So, di ka tag doon sa banda, kaya mag-ingon sila nga, kasama nga fanboy But then again, I started to shoot mga gigs sa Handurao, Gorordo. Rest in peace, Gorordo, Handurao.
Yeah.
Kuwa Treehouse. And it was very strategic yun kayo nga ang Kuwa kay naarid to nga spot. At least for me, kaya at least mukhaon ko din to. Makita ko sa owner, si Akit. Yung ka na magtagad-tagad ba nga, oy, Kit. Feeling close lang gun, para FC ba? kaya para og mo shoot na ko gig, dili ko barawon kasi ay di pwede mo shoot. Ayaw dia. So since kibaw na siya nga regular ko nga customer, na kay liwe nga okay na siya, dili na siya kawatan. Di na siya manguha dito. So mo to, that was also a really big break for me nga mo shoot ko sa mga lugar. Kay kana siya make sure connections when you, especially sa music industry, kanang mo to nakarelate ko sa episode ni Percy nga shoot lang jud ka niya makaila ka mga tao, organizers, tag-iya sa restaurant. They will let you in, they will let you shoot for free. And then pangitaon na ka sa mga tao. Like, asa, pwede ka maka-shoot pre. So that's where it all started.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
sa kanang industry, let's say sa music industry, di ako nagsugod. Mananghid ko or like mga tanan ko, silang Aiki pa to sa una, Aiki, Ricky, if na sila event, may pwede ko makashoot. And then, pamagyan na I get to know them, or story may kadiyot, before mga lakaw, then they remember your name, they remember your face. So at least kanang industry, you're good. On the other side, other spectrum, kanang mga classy nga spectrum, same thing sad. Like if I keep shooting for Z, bisag ginagmay nga event, marami nag-tier lah. Like you go for events, then features, then cover. Unfortunately, wala dyan ko naabot sa cover, but I got to shoot a lot of them first two tiers. So a lot of the people nga na dito, or premium feature, always see your face. They always know, they would know nga, kani siya, shoot niya siya. Then if magkakita may outside, like Ayala or something, mga na sila, ikaw kung ni-shoot for Z, can you also shoot for our kani? Then the referrals now go around. And I think that's why, or that's how I get around so much.
But you don't, like I noticed that with creatives in general, more like they tend to be, they don't really like to talk to people. Like they're introverted in a way. No? You don't seem to have that problem.
Yeah,
But you mentioned that you used to struggle before, like you were saying in UP.
Kayo nga murag. It also came back as a member of YFC pod kay as I stayed in the organization, wag na promote ako as member lang to a chapter head, let's say, chapter head. So mapugos ko to talk to people. Bisag di ko ganahan or di ko kaila or dili mi close, mapugos ko kay chapter head man ka. You need to get the chapter going. Na may activities, mag-sharing mo, okay, gusto mo itong na-learn, itong experience. And then part of the organization was to talk to, we call them titos and titas. So if there's youth for Christ, people who are managing or overlooking them are couples for Christ.
Yeah.
So they're couples, mga 40s, 50s, 60s na time. So I learned to talk to mga inanang age, and it's very different when you talk to like ka-age nimo and mo talk ka og people who are a lot older. So na-learn ko na nga skill. Gida ko na on shoots after or in between breaks sa shoots kay mo talk ko sa subject ko, ma'am, unsa day? Ngano ginani ka mo painting or ngano? Unsa pulos ana yung mga design if interior designer ngano day ni? Like there was siguro once nga I talked to Jen Martinez nga ngano nagsugod kag yoga dyan. Something like that. So just curious lang ko ba. And I really like talking to people, getting to know their story and kanang ngano gyud. And I guess you don't see that a lot bitaw in creatives. Kay most of the creatives I know po, they're puyo lang. They're not necessarily mga snobs. They're just, di sila ganahan nga, sila yung una. But once you unhan mo sila, ma-open up.
Oh yeah, that's what I found sad. Like I know if you talk, I noticed that they're very people are generally very, they want to be talked to, they want to talk, they want to tell you what they're doing, but I find that it doesn't come easy to everybody.
To everybody, yeah.
No?
That's true.
So like, but even then, like you were saying, I like that you mentioned that it's a skill.
It is
that
a skill.
You learned, diba? It's not something that was, it might have gone a little bit easier for you, but obviously it started out in the beginning talking to people, especially people you didn't know or people who had a name already. It's hard to
approach them.
Yeah, it's hard to just approach them or talk to them, diba?
That's
especially
true.
If you're like this young kid.
Like no one.
Like you don't really know what you're doing, ano ba? No? And then I like that you said it's a skill that you honed through YFC pa again.
YFC, yeah.
Yeah. I used to be YFC, ba? Katong when I was in...
Diba?
Well...
It's a good place to start.
I was there, like, I wouldn't say I was an active member. Like, ni-join ko YFC because there was a girl nga guwapa niya YFC siya. And then... so
that is a reason nga a lot of people have used in the past.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, I remember like katong... what I remember about YFC was that maayo kaya mga musicians.
Kana sad.
Grabe ka maayo. There's always like this guy nga maayo kay mo guitar.
Like, like every congregation, nakiusa nga, si Kuya Kawo o si Kuya Kuan, maayo jud kayo. Basta naa siya kay manglupad gitanan mga espiritu. Oh my God. And it is true, naagid.
And maayo good, like really good at good. I remember that good.
I would say that would be one of the things that made me want to be a musician like full time or like to pursue that, or even to part of the music ministries of FC. Kaya marag indutan niya mo to kay ma-feel kin ako si God.
Oh yeah.
Something like that.
Bitaw. Yeah, bay. I remember good. Like mahigid kayo. Mahigid. So I find that like, so you made good an effort to put yourself in situations to meet people.
I wouldn't say nga ako dun i-force myself, but things just kinda happen and opportunities would present themselves. Like for example, pero andam sa jugo always. For example, in shooting, which is why nakarelate ko again to Percy's episode nga magdagit siyang camera always, which I relate because I used to bring my camera all the time. Bisag walay gig, way shoot, way lingaw, magdalan jud ko. And then if na gig kalit mo, post na lang sa Facebook before nga, na-gig sa Coa, La City. So madto ko nya nagdana ko camera but wa sila kibaw nga mo shoot ko. I see the organizer, let's say si IK, kay mo may take handle sa una sa mga events. Maghuwat ko opportunity nga mo duol siya or nya kanang naitsempo yung mo risgo lang ko nga, pre, pwede mo shoot, pre. Nya kanang isnagra ka ba nga? Sige, shoot na dia. Di mo kayo lang. And then after the event, or dito na siya, or like ma-post na ang photos, dito na makaingon nga. Nindot din nila, kanang, can you do that again? Dito na.
Because in the end, it helps everybody out.
Helps everybody, yo.
Yeah.
So I would say nga opportunities come, nga mo jump ra ko at it. Nga it just needs a little push nga to talk to someone, mangumusta, or like, naladyo kay pangutan na, pwede ka ni, excuse me, kana. So, again, it goes back to skills, yun.
Like, what kind of opportunities have come just because of, like, shooting?
Let's see. Recently, karon sa, I'm going ahead here, but balikan na niya na to. I kept shooting for Zinc. Karon. So, I do most of the videos, some of the photos. And people notice that, kay, either post on Facebook or naalang sa screen dito sa gym. People notice na mangutana, kisay ka buhat, ana. Si Zeke ni buhat, ana. Then mangutana sila, then they contact me na dayon. Unya, magpabuhat din sila, og apparently, sila tag-iya din sila company, that's a very big company, magbuhat silang 50th anniversary or something. And kana, it just grows from there. Because I don't advertise myself, dili ko mag-post og mga bali, na part.
Well, you post your work, though.
I post my work, but I don't post it in a way nga, please hire me.
Yeah.
Kanang dili siya, how do you call it?
Dili siya hard sell.
Because it's okay, as a graduate of business man pod, it's always been taught nga og hard sell ka, it affects your street cred or your branding. So sato lang ka, just post your work and let the people come to you. So let word of mouth, or mas valuable magud ang word of mouth, I think, especially in Cebu, no matter who you are or like what you do, it's always who you know. So if you present yourself in a way nga you're legit, you're decent, you have good work, you do honest work, people will duol na gid sila. And I've been hoping work na siya, and so far ni work raman the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, because so you mentioned so one of the funny things that happened to you, no, katong like you mentioned, so you were shooting for Zinc,
yeah,
diba? And then I think we were having this conversation a week ago or something.
Yeah.
Wag yun ka nag-expect.
Wag yun sa akong never in my wildest dreams. Apil dire.
Oh, like, so what happened? What happened again?
So I had a gig, or no, I had a project with Shangri-La Mactan. It was like Global Wellness Day, kind of GWD, Global Wellness Day. So Global Wellness Day in Shangri-La is this once a year thing. They have a program for the whole day, all about wellness, all about exercise, all about being fit. Part of the whole thing was a dance called, it's called Pound.
What? Sorry?
Are you familiar? Pound?
Pound?
Yeah. So Pound is nagdaka og drumsticks, and you dance to the beat and you just hit the ground.
Okay.
So there's choreography on that. Hapak lang ka sa yuta, pre. Mora gina siya. Kami, we were tasked to do the documentation. So, ni-video rapod me. And then, video ko, nanayaw sila. Okay, nice. Slomo, para char. It's always been my attitude, or like my standard thing to do, is to show the subject their photo or their video, the footage, para at least makibaw sila nga. This is how I look. This is how I look during the shot. So, nidool ko atong tiguang nga person.
So you talk to the people that you shoot.
Yeah, like, sir, darataro. Para makakita ka sa iyong picture. Mauna siya. Pangitaalan niya. So, I did that. Nidool ko like, with this one person who looked kind of classy. Nga ka nang, nidool lang ko. Kasi siya may pinakadool. Sir, dara yung video. The documentation, para ni sa highlights sa whole thing. Wata lang ang Shangri-La. Post sila, Ayan, sila rin matag ni mo. Little did I know, nga ang kato dayong gipakita nga classy person is Elizalde Berdon, Daddy Z, who is you can say is part owner of Zinc, and apparently daw he has been following my work. That was the perfect opportunity for him to ask me, would you want to do some work for Zinc in exchange for like free membership? And ako was, I'm sorry, what? Unsa? Gusto man ng Zinc. Kanang indoor cycling ba? Kanang sa Banilad. And before 2017 or 2018, Musod na jud ko banilad like once a year, BTC once a year.
Amo ba?
Because what would I ever do
You're
there?
not from, you don't go in that
Yeah,
area. That's my area.
My area is Tisa biya ko.
Amo ba?
So, South Side represent. So,
Kaya I never go there.
yeah, see? So you would understand. The farthest I would go is kanang SM, nga main SM, layo na kaya for me. But to go to BTC, to kuan, murag sobra na gid pre. But yeah, something happened nga murag napugos or like na motivate ko to go. I did some photos and videos in exchange for like a month or two of membership. Yeah. See, it was good for me because I was really into fitness before naman, like jogging.
But wait, I think one thing that I don't want to gloss over ba,
Okay.
or I might forget, magod.
Sure.
Because like it's actually really smart that you shoot.
Yes.
And then you show it to the person
Mm-hmm.
that you should, especially in these events, because half the time you go to these events, daghan kay mga photographer, and then like you'll get shot. Let's say I go to an event, I'll get shot. You
never see it.
Half the time, I never see that photo or video because
Bitaw.
they're not going to tag you. Like the let's say Shangri-La Mactan, they're gonna, if they post it,
They're not gonna tag you.
they're not gonna tag you. They're not going to. So you never know.
Oh, like na-post na lang na and you'll never know nga na dito.
Yeah, you never know. And
Yeah.
then everybody is kind of vain in their own way. So like if there's a video,
Yeah, that's the point nga I'm trying to drive on nga. Everyone wants. Although di kita moangkon tanan nga, we want to see ourselves, but if someone else takes a photo of you or like a video of you, you'd want to see it.
just want to see it.
You want to see it. Like,
Yeah.
How do I look? How does my kilay look? Or,
Oh yeah, you see it lang. Ano ba? And then, so it's actually really smart, because in a way, that's kind of how you market yourself. Because number one, you're doing it for Shangri-La. Let's
Yes.
go back to that whole situation. You're doing it for Shangri-La.
Yes.
So obviously, Shangri-La is this big institution that people trust.
Yes.
No? So, you're showing it to somebody. You're just showing them their photo or
Yeah.
video.
Uh.
But in a way, you're kind of marketing yourself through your attachment already with
them.
with Shangri-La. You can show, because I'm working for Shangri-La. Of course, you can trust me.
Yeah.
They trust me. Diba? So then you show the work, and then obviously it's good.
Yeah.
Nindot lagi to. What you did there.
That's
No?
what happened.
Diba? So, I wonder if obviously there's going back to having the skill to talk to
Yes.
people, essentially strangers,
Mhm.
no? And then, but that is like a hack in a way, ba? Like a marketing hack of getting your name out there legitimately through word of mouth.
It's interesting how you see it that way, because for me, since it's an event, so free to shoot ra ka. So it's more like my way of paying them nga murag salamat nga gipashoot ko nimo sa imong self. Okay. Murag weird when someone just sticks out and points a camera at you and just clicks. So murag to show them nga dili ni binastos ang akong gi-shoot ha, dara mo na mo. So it's just to show them ba. And kana murag karon na sa ko ka-realize nga bitaw sa it is a way of marketing nga murag ipakita nimo to whoever. You never know if that person would need something.
Yeah, I'm sure like 90% of the time it's nothing, no?
Yeah.
But
to the 10%,
yeah,
that
pero mo na, di ba?
And look where we are now.
Yeah, so going back, so
kana.
so you got a free membership sa Zinc.
I got a free membership at Zinc, and while I kept shooting, I also murag started to fall in love with the program. Mostly because murag niniman ko na. Murag all throughout college, so I've mentioned 2009 ko nisod. All throughout 2009 until 2015, okay, I maintained at this certain weight. 75 kilos. So, proud tana, no? 75 kilos. And only at Zinc, ko nga murag, niubos gid siya up to 69, the holy number. So, murag, tinuod gid siguro nila, hana di ni joke. So, I kept on going. So, naninood ko sa cycling and sa sayaw-sayaw. And then one day, naabot ng time nang recruit sila og instructors. I was never interested because like, why would I? But then one of the current instructors at the time said nga, okay, maka-form dong kanang apply lang good. So like, di ka makapasar o makapasar ka we pay you to we pay you to be fit. Ko okay, pwede sad.
So we were going there anyway.
We were going there anyway. May nalang pambawi sa gas and everything. So I think we were 16 people all in all who tried. Then it became 10, became 6, and finally, upat me. So batch 4 of Zinc instructors is currently me. There's Fonso Ali, and then there's Mariana Varela. And that's how it all happened. And it's still so funny for me. Jimmy Instructor. And like the only other person I know who's somewhat similar, who's into music, Jimmy Instructor, Mick and Nika, three-legged men. He also used to be a instructor there.
Yeah.
I'm saying used to because Karon I think nag-leave
Manila
siya for a
or
while.
Something. Yeah. I saw his picture.
He just passed as an architect. So I think he's taking his time off. Then sikat sa ginang three-legged men run. So I guess na busy siya.
Yeah, I've never met him.
Well, there he's just out there.
yeah.
So kana, and ever since I've been teaching at Zinc since November.
Mo lagi kay as you know, my wife, si Steph, she goes man, diba?
Hi, Steph.
And then she always mentions good nga, she likes your song choices.
That's good to know.
Yeah, kay you put in like a bunch of local stuff in there also, diba?
I always try to put in like, if dili siya masud sa kanang mga for work songs, I put it in the, before magsugod ang klase. So ako siya ipatukar. So people will know nga, padung na magsugod ng klase. So magtukar ko local music, Wongoy, Skatski, kinsa man three-legged men, Power Spoons, mga Bisaya, whatever. Basta just to put it out there. And when I start the class, kaya ako na sila inform ang people nga like, oh, here you are at Zinc, Monday Madness with your boy Zeke 530. You've been listening to homegrown music. We got Power Spoons, Skatski, a mix of the people in Cebu, guys. If you want to know who they are, just let me know. So, frustrations na ako ang disc, radio jack. So, I just put it there. So, I lash out a lot of my frustrations, I think.
Because so, I've obviously I've tried the classes in Zinc. I don't go as often as Steph does.
Yes.
But I found it really interesting because not only do you need to be quite fit to do it, like you have to be legit fit to do it. And then, so there's a level of musicality involved.
Yes.
Because I noticed good nga, number one, it's that you're correct me if I'm wrong, but
Sure.
you're cycling to the tempo.
Yeah,
there's counts good, so there's beats. No, it's almost like playing a musical instrument. You kind of need to know when to go to the next one.
There's a lot of stuff I did not realize you should have as a skill or you should know as an instructor. Abi na kung saan na shagit lang ka nga, dagan! Or like, barog mo tanan! Not like that. Apparently, everything is choreographed. So everything is inihap. And there are standards we live up to. For example, there needs to be a certain beats per minute. Like if you're doing a speed work, minimum should be like 130 beeps. Okay, I didn't go much deeper sa background on that, but that's the perfect way where you get your system going, your heart rate up. So, you need to have the cardio for it. Dapat ikaw ang instructor.
Yeah. You need to have it.
Yun. Or at least you get through the class.
And then at the same time, you have to have the cardio, and then you have to be able to motivate the other people in the class.
Ang pag-motivate, mostly, although nag-microphone ka, nag-shagit, yapon ka.
Oh.
So imagine like for 45 minutes, mag-bike ka, mag-shagit ka to encourage people. Like, what about you? You need to be encouraged as well. But, as an instructor, kailangan you need to be fit. You need to know how to motivate people. You need to know when people are like, padung na mamatay. Like, slow down. Namutla na ka. You can pace yourself. Don't push yourself. Then, the other part is the musicality part because most songs we know The songs are the choruses narragin sa 30 seconds or so. But we do our work for, let's say, 45 to 60 seconds. So you need to know how to remix songs.
Yeah, so did they teach you that in Zinc? How to put it together? Because you're basically playing DJ. Yeah.
Yeah, you are a DJ. So for me, luckily for me, kibaw na ko mo remix or cut, let's not call it remix, let's call it like just cut and paste songs. Because during high school and college, used to be more, this is something not a lot of people know. So I used to be cheer dance captain.
Oh, ba?
See? I saw the look in your face. So I used to be cheer dance captain from high school or college. And as a captain po, ako sa natig-remix sa mga kanta, ako itigkat, maganahan ko, isumpay ni ang kanang kanta with this. So I had that background. And ako rin siyang di-apply sa Zinc. So I already knew how. I taught my batch sa Zinc how to do that.
Mo ba?
Yeah. So you need to know how to do that. Yeah. So that's part of the choreography na. Para you know, kanos ang marog, kanos ang mo lingkod, and everything else. You need to be, you're constantly counting in your head. Like kanos ang 4, 3, there's some beats nga lisod dakpon. Na it's a combination of a lot of stuff, but once you're into it, second nature na siya.
Yeah, because you also, so going back to the DJ aspect of it,
yeah,
that's like a playlist, diba? Basically.
It is.
So you have to make the playlist.
Yeah, like for me, I have like 2 or 3 or 4 playlists na nga kay lahi para, because if you play the same thing over and over again,
yeah, no, you don't.
People are gonna.
So how often do you change it?
I change it siguro mga twice or thrice a month. I have, for me, my schedule, my regular programming is Monday 5:30 and it's Thursday 7:30 a.m. So most likely the people on Monday are not gonna be the same people on Thursday. Siguro na isang nga mag-overlap, but not all, not most of them. So pwede na ako balikon next week lahat na po. And I can mix and match. So let's say 4 playlists of different songs. Pwede na may mix and match lang.
But it has to be like, how do you do that by? So with the songs, there's what's this ba? Kanang
What do you mean?
Like it's danceable, diba? So
yeah, search juga.
Search gid ka. So like the local stuff.
The local stuff, I usually put it sa end. Like
I like the chill down period.
The chill down or like ito, I mentioned a while ago nga, before magsugod ang class, kasi my class is 5:30. Alas 5 pa lang, nagpatukar na ko music just to let people know nga, okay, natin 30 minutes for the fun. Usually, diyan ako ibutang ang mga local music, upbeat, like mga wongoys or like power spoons or like unsa pa nang upbeat. After the class, because there's 10 songs in a class, the very last one yun is your cool down. That's my moment. That's my moment to endorse and play local music. I play kind of mga slow songs.
Yeah, because most of the local stuff are kind of like, unless it's rock music, are kind of mellow, di ba?
So dihan ako ibutang, especially karon nga daghan kay ginagawa sa mga mellow like from Jerica Jodorico, katong usa ka libo ni Katsuki, Vincent Echo songs, some of the older Wongoy songs, and even like basta OPM in general. I try to put it there, and before ko mag-start sa warm up, like before ko go and like stretch your arms, I just say, you're listening to homegrown music right here. Let's say I play a Katsuki song, you're listening to Mother Folker's Usaka Libo, and then I just leave them there. Sometimes when the class is full of seasoned riders, so sweeto na sila on like how the cool down goes, di na kay kumusturya para makadungog sila sa kanta. They know it's that short window for me to spread the local music.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, si Steph Good mentioned that when she does.
It's good to know
class.
that it works.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, she really enjoys it. She's been going back. Sige siya balik. Honestly, I'm surprised. Sige, like kanang dugay na ko na ingon nga, you know, because she got used to after giving birth ba, like kanang it's hard to get back to doing exercise. So nalingaw ko nga, nalingaw siya actually.
And it also hits more another bird for me because one of my frustrations before is to be a motivational speaker.
Mo ba?
Kasi natin conference pag high school nga gipadami sa like say Baguio for a youth conference of a lot of schools in the Philippines. One of the speakers really good. Mura ganang ma-inspire ka to.
That's hard to do, ha?
Di ba? Mo gan exactly. Na-touch ko ba kay mura he spoke so well in a way nga mura ganahan ko mo study hard. Ganahan ko to be a good person. Like I want to help the nation. in ana nga type like the way he delivered his speech mura I was moved. But I never got the opportunity to do that. But karon, even in my short 45-minute classes at Zinc, I get to motivate people. And it really works good now. I don't know how true. But if you call someone out in the class, like, let's go, Steph! It kind of powers them up. And a lot of people have been telling me, oh, I really enjoyed your class. Kaya ninot yung playlist. And in a way, I help them. But it's also like, it feels good for me. Okay, yeah, I'm doing a good job. So,
yeah, it's like I find like it's this weird. So you mentioned it's like it's not something you thought about ever,
Yeah.
but it's this weird thing that kanang murag that has got all of your skills put together, but murag it
I
kind
know.
of just works.
Like, kailangan tani nga skill. Ito ng gamiton. Na photo video, kailangan din.
Yeah, so but you still do the photo video for them also
Yeah,
a little
I still
bit.
do.
Yeah, nagyapon.
Kay nobody else is doing it. And murag, as part of the Zinc family na, murag, kailangan I want the content to be out there. Sa, murag, hey, naapa mi diri. Because a lot of gyms are opening up now. And murag, part of staying relevant is to put out good content. And to each his own, magina, like, fight for your, love your own ba. So, yeah, I still do the videos. Not as much as before, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's important,
It is.
Just keep it
It
out
always
there.
helps.
Yeah, let's talk about your show, ba? Kanang
Sure.
In your element. So how many episodes have you done na?
I have released 10 episodes for now.
Bago pa man sad.
Yeah, it's been like 2-3 weeks, I guess. Yeah, I've had 10 people now, but na ko like upat on queue. Na shoot na nako but wala pa na release. You were the 9th, I guess.
Ah, yeah?
Yours was pretty interesting because your answers were long, so it was the first time to do like a 2-part thing, which was
really?
good.
Oh, I feel like kanang I've tried doing 2-parters. Okay, a bit. No, like in terms of the podcast.
Yeah.
I've had podcasts kanang like let's say like 3 hours.
Wow.
And yeah, I realized nga I can't really post that
At once.
I did before, and I realized murag lisod man di ay. So
Heavy
now I
siya
cut it.
for the listener.
I don't know, sa di sa ko kaingon kay I listen man sa two really long podcasts. So
Yeah, I figure some people would.
yeah, so I don't know, hard to say, but murag okay raman, okay ra ba? So so you've done mga 10 episodes na. But even then, so like that's a good number of people to get a gauge of like what's your plan with it? Are you gonna continue doing it? Ana?
Yeah, so far so those of you who don't know, In Your Element is a side/fashion project of mine. I've been, as mentioned, I've been shooting people for quite some time now. So I'm familiar with them, they're familiar with me, I can easily just tap them and, pwede ka ma-interview. I started to take advantage of those relationships, especially they've been featured before for what they've been doing. So if magazine, not a lot of people get to have or get a copy of that. So they don't know quite unsang story ng a person. So for me, the goal is really just an avenue for people to tell their stories. And like, have you seen the movie Pay It Forward?
Is that the one where the kid
The kid dies, yeah.
well, spoiler.
Oh, spoiler.
I was gonna say something else. Is that the one where the kid says, where he was in class and the teacher's like pay it forward, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing for another person, and
Yeah,
then the other
kinda.
person does another good thing, and another
So
good
the
thing.
goal is that, like, the goal is to inspire people because these people also inspire me. Because let's say the first person I released In Your Element was Chip. Chip Lopez. She's also instructor at Zinc, a plant-based chef and a health coach. So
she's one of the first few episodes of 032 Conversations.
Diba? She's really interesting. And so, in some way, in a fitness marag context, ma-inspire ko ni Chip because fit ka siya ba? She's really disciplined. She really watches what she eats. And so how I responded to that inspiration was ako siyang interview para I can release content that could somehow inspire others with a broader scope siguro. And in a way, they would do the same. And they would siguro fix themselves or not really fix, but you get the point. And I'm try to make themselves better. So ma-inspired sila and then it just goes forward. Yeah. Inspiring fun ba? Kana.
So what have you learned so far?
From what?
From doing the
show
the
in general. A lot of things.
2 weeks? In the 2 weeks.
A lot of things. First would be different people kay lahi gid imong approach to them. You can't have a uniform approach. Okay, you need, especially if migo mo daan, also chill ra imong approach, but pwede ra ka maingon, oy bay, shoot niya tabi. So there's some people nga you gotta approach in a more formal way, like, hey, I know we don't talk a lot, we don't know each other that much, but I'm doing this thing. So it kinda helps me again hone the skill of communication ba nga. You gotta know who you're talking to, who you're talking with, and you present yourself accordingly. It kind of helps. Okay, if mabugoy-bugoy ka to someone who's very formal and legit, what you get padulungan. So I also learned in content-wise, or siguro what people have been saying, is that every part, or there's a part in every episode I ask them to, what is your slice of advice for people who are already in industry or trying to get into it? People really are very passionate because they ask people to just do your thing. Do your thing, keep learning, and eventually you'll come out big, you'll come out, you maybe make money out of it, make a name for yourself, but just keep on doing it. So people really are more passionate than what we might see. We might see a person yung inanar din na siya, but in the inside, sige din siya struggle, sige siya shoot, or sige siya develops himself. We just don't see it.
Yeah, they're presumably you're choosing people who are trying to do something, diba?
Yeah,
do something different or significant. So, yeah, I found something, at least with my experience talking to people, there's so much happening underneath.
Yeah, that's true. I was kind of inspired by the book Start With Why.
Oh, by Simon Sinek?
Simon Sinek.
Yeah.
So, that was their first initial thoughts for the page or for the project actually was just, it wasn't supposed to be in your element. It was supposed to be just why. The page should just be why. What do you do and why? Why do you shoot people, or why do you do interviews, and what's it for? What's in it for you? And then it just grew to a more catchy way in your elements.
Wait, did you have was your first episode a why? Did you do that? Did you try doing that?
No. It was the initial thoughts lang. How could I do it? I didn't really deploy myself into interviews na before, having a whole brand kit siguro for me. I branded it in a way. Once I have everything, I have the template of the questions, template of the how do I edit it, template of the music and everything. Once na set na to, I'm good to go. Dito na rin ko na-contact. Hey, kaya interview. Schedule. Right now, I have about 40 more people to interview.
So you have a list?
I have a list, yeah.
Do you have a schedule when these interviews come out?
The thing about it is, it's because I'm doing this in between projects, in between shoots, in between my classes sa Zinc. So, if ka na lang wadyo ko'y buhaton, because it's a passion project. So, it doesn't have a deadline.
My suggestion to you is to come up with a schedule.
Also, I've heard, I've read it in a book, do a deadline for yourself.
No, it's just Not the deadline. Like I mean, like a release schedule.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to do a daily thing.
Oh, that's hard though.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't gonna suggest that. That's like
I know the Zero Sweet Conversation is released every Tuesday,
yeah, once a week.
once a week.
Yeah. The reason for that is because I feel like I can still have my regular life while
That's true.
while I do it. Like if doing content like every day, like polished, edited content, like something like you're doing, it's super hard to do.
It's also training for me because to be a master of your craft, you need to like put in the hours, diba? Like put in 10,000 hours for your skill. So for me, it's like the more I do it, the more mas hanas nako. And I noticed that in my keyboard, kaya murag I set shortcuts na. So paspas na ko mga cut, copy, paste. Okay, move this volume. Okay, taas murag. It's really just like typing now for me. So paspas na kayo siya. I move this, I do that, and I scroll through what the person says. Cut, copy, paste. Okay, let's go. So it applies to my work pod because once I'm so used to the tools in my craft, mas dali na ko maka-deliver of like drafts or like the videos and I believe karon man god in the industry we are now, people are so used to or they really need kanang instant things. The sooner you can deliver, the better. So I'm trying to do that without sacrificing quality. So how you would murag counter the errors would be just practice. The more you practice, the better you become at what you do. Hopefully, the less errors you do.
For sure. The more you do it, the better you are.
So it all ties back to the thing that I do, Gapon.
No,
but yeah, I try to do a daily thing. In a day, I try to, if madana ko, if nako interview, I could interview 2 people. Then, so that's 2 days na. At least 3 posts a week. Okay na siguro na. People will kanang remember.
That's not daily. That's like every other day.
Every other day, yeah. But so far, for the last 2 weeks, 2 weeks pa day, 10 pa man.
Hindi, kay my worry there is you burn yourself out ba?
Kana sad, no?
Kay, hago ba? I know it's kapoy.
Hago, it is.
It really is. So, yeah, I found that the secret to just doing something long is just to I feel like a lot of people, the mistake is they go all out in the beginning and yeah, there's no longevity, like so good grabe kaayo, and then after that
they plateau.
It's not really like it's a plateau. It's like anang so good grabe kaayo, but then they can't keep the same energy going.
That's true.
At least in terms of like content creation, but they're coming up with stories and talking to people or whatever. Like kami, when we used to do is write articles for 032, and yeah, I knew good right away there's a version of this where we release 20 articles in the first week or 2. But like I cannot do that for years. Yeah, kanaya na ba? Dili siya sustainable.
I see, bitaw, that's true. I think ako na siyang prepare in a way is that ang nakalapad na sa whole thing is the interview itself. Okay, you need to meet the person, then mag-talk mo. That's not really a problem for me for now. Okay, dili pa kayo busy. And then one of the principles of In Your Element also is always just keep it simple. So like you remember the way we talk, nga kanang lingkod lang, storya rata. That's it. Not a lot of setting up, not a lot of things to do. Just talk on how you would talk anyway. And the difference is, so as you've mentioned, it's just recorded. And it took a lot of time for me also to do the branding or like to do the templates. Kaya praigo na lang ko mo hansak na lang ko sa content, render, post.
Yeah, I like what you do. I like the way it's done. Pag yun nga, it's not just a talking head. Like there are like some overlays or like katong kang Percy. Percy's come up a lot. Like there was grow or he did that katong word ni zoom in. There's another one sad nga kato like the janitor in the background. Naglimpyo.
Annoying mo guys. Yung mga
Oh,
ano,
niya. Imo din. So we're gonna ba like those little touches kay kanang if it's just a talking head, sayang sad.
Sayang, yeah. And
Oh.
it does get boring, pod.
Oh,
So I
like you
try
may
to
as well
try
do
to
a
do as
podcast
much.
if it's just a talking head.
Oh,
Yeah, you
ganun,
try to
diba?
do other things. Oh.
So I try to put in, like, for example, if you mention your socials, if you mention your Instagram, ako na ko nang screen grab. Ako na nang
Yeah, that,
screen grab niya, i-pop up ka diyo, then just show the details, just so people have a visual something. But
and it doesn't take much.
doesn't take much. Just copy paste. That's it.
Oh.
And yeah, just try. It's also a challenge for me. Okay, how far can you take the visual? I want to say a bad word, but yeah, visual stuff.
Oh, you can say bad words.
The visual fuckery.
If you
How
want.
far can you take the visual fuckery? All you have, okay, it's also a challenge. Kanang lingaw siya for me, but all I have is a talking head. How can I make it fun? What can I add? Like katong ang Percy, yan siya nga grow. So akong ibutang ang text. Niya ako gi-zoom yung now grow. So yeah. And there's a lot of interesting stuff coming put in the show because for now, it starts as a interview lang. Kanang talk about what you do or who you are, what you do, and like what are your plans, what are your advice for people. This coming 2:30 in like 15 minutes from now, as of speaking, I'm releasing a new show pod in a way. It's not gonna come out as regularly, but it's called Tattoo Tour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I interviewed Kim Maitland Smith. Who's also episode 10 in the In Your Element series. But I also shot her with a tattoo tour. A tattoo tour basically means you give us a tour of your collection of tattoos. Because I'm pretty sure...
That's cool, though.
I'm pretty sure some people have stories. And if wala siya story, then it's a story in itself. Like, ganahan lang ko nga na ako'y star sa akong kamot. So I got a star. And probably a lot of the other things have stories.
That's cool because I was going... We were talking katong... After we did our interview, and you said like you wanted to do like a rig thing.
Yeah.
Like look at the pedal board.
Rig rundown.
Rig rundown. But like, yeah, it's cool if you do that for like... Because I was just thinking, so you're just going to do a bunch of rig rundowns of all these musicians? But then, if you make it much broader... Like the tattoo tour, rig rundown.
It's like it's still about them, but it's an extension of themselves.
Yeah, it becomes much more fun. I think.
Diba? So at least now I'm like there's shows pending like for me. So siguro that is the goal. Karon kay it's just a community of sharing. So what do you have? Like show and tell na gid siya. Basically, it's one big show and tell
I feel like with you, I think kay bago pa man, diba? So I feel like if you keep it going, you're going to... It's usually what it is in the beginning is not what it is
in the end.
In the end. Like, it can be... You have this idea, like a starting point, and then I feel like later on, it might morph into something else.
We could turn into a cooking show, you never know.
Oh, well, not like that. But like, I suspect there will be certain things. Like, it may not be big drastic changes, but it could be like small, minor
changes.
Yeah, like in direction.
Diversification.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what's gonna happen.
Because I've seen rig rundowns, not even in Manila. They do it sa US, kita na. Like, mga sikat, mga Mike Tremonte, kana sila mga guitarists, mga Slash, okay. But we have a lot of good musicians here in the Philippines, in Cebu, magani. So we might as well check kung unsay na nila because being in the music industry, makakita ka lalahig purma mga pedalboard, na mga circle, na mga square, na mga tag-as kayo. Kung may soda nila pedalboard. So might as well interview them. Unsay gamit ani nga pedal or na.
And then you'll get a lot from the guests, the way they respond to your...
Yes, that's true.
Because there are guitarists who really don't care. Like they'll be like, kanang
stomp box of sarang
ka more ng sound. But there's also going to be the other type nga, kanibay, this is where we get this kanang sound.
That's interesting. People can go super geeky about their gear, and some people will just nara ko distortion usa mao na.
Yeah. Mo na lingaw na eh. So going back to like that we're all doing We're all slashers. We're all
Yes.
doing different things. No? So, what's working and what isn't, man, for you? Like,
What do you mean?
what have you tried? Because the nature of, even for me, like what I'm doing is we're always trying different things.
Yes.
No? So even, for example, this podcast for me, the podcast came about, number one, because I really listened to a lot of podcasts, but also I found that I think I mentioned this in our interview, the
Yeah.
articles over time,
It's getting harder to do.
yeah, it's getting harder to do, and then it's not getting as much attention as it used to. And then I wanted to see what is something that I will enjoy, and then I would probably end up doing for free anyway.
That's true.
Which is, I like talking to people, I found out. So even this podcast is an experiment, no, of sorts.
Seems to be working so far.
Oh yeah, okay.
We've had over 80 people.
Yeah, I know, it's fine.
Congrats to that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's just the slow hinay-hinay lang good.
How long has the show been running?
2018 February, I think.
So over a year.
Yeah. So once a week. That's why 80 people.
It's not bad. It's actually really pretty consistent.
Oh yeah. I haven't really missed the week, I think. I'm not sure. Pero, so, what have, kanang, in terms of you, like, what has, so far, what has worked and what hasn't, man? Like, kanang, have you tried?
In terms of a slasher, in terms
yeah,
of...
or like just trying
to do
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so, going back, I think, I started with designing shirts. So I kind of thought I could also be a layout artist in a way, because kibaw ako mo Photoshop, but siguro I didn't grow there, so I just stopped at Photoshop. Wala na ko ni transcend into the Illustrator universe, and I know a lot of people saying Photoshop ra ka kutob di ka kibaw mo Illustrator, and so it's a very intimidating community of artists. So wala na ko ni po siya na, because I realized na maybe a graphic artist is not one of the things that I can do, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember you used to do like kanang layout stuff, sa, diba? Yeah, that's right. A long time ago.
I used to do that, and then for a while it was good, and I just realized na mas dako og kwarta ning photo video ra. And so
then it probably came easier sad for you.
Yeah, and naka-invest naman sa ko a lot on like the gear that I have, so I just stuck with what I thought I knew that I could do good or do best. Just do it from there. Siguro I try new stuff every now and then, like animation. I do gamay ra gyud, very small animation. I can't do them like super smooth and nice stuff, just enough to get me by. Like what you see on the page or what you see in like my projects, that is a little animation that I can do, which kind of part of the slasher, I guess.
Oh, but that's like in terms of like learning new skills.
Yeah.
No, but like in a way, like in your element, for example.
Okay.
That is you trying something new also.
Yes. So far, wala man. I mean, because it also, it sounds so easy, no? But it takes me a lot of time before I actually start doing something or doing something new, because I think it through. Like for In Your Element, for example, we didn't mention this in this episode, but I think I told you sa ato ang interview was, it took me months. It took me months to start this thing. Okay, I had to think about. But it was very hard for me to think of a name, because I wanted it to be catchy. I wanted it to be appropriate. I wanted it to be not one word, but not exactly 4 words. So, dugay ko naka-decide on that. And it's important for me because it'll be something people, I hopefully would be talking about. Like 032 is very catchy, because other than being the area code of the place, it's also like very, it has a ring to it. Like, kita kadungog katong 032 nga conversations. Katong ng Carlos.
Yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily
a good thing.
No, like I don't think we necessarily put as much thought into it as.
Hey, but it worked.
Yeah, you know how we did it? Like we wrote down. We had a piece of paper, or Word document. I forgot what it was. And we just put down
A lot of names.
a lot of names, like a lot, like really bad. And then all the
What were the bad ones?
oh no, but like I can't remember them. I wish we kept that document, gani. But I remember like there was some like there are very obvious choices.
Okay.
Like you could have called it Sugbo something,
Yeah.
or like at the time at the time kato like Ubek Crew came out. Ubek
Yeah,
Crew was
yeah.
out. So we're
Asa
like,
naman
what
sila
if?
ron? Asa naman?
Na sila. Now they're like mga artists na gid. Actually.
Wala na kayo sila, no? Like, I mean,
But wala na kayo sila na I talked to
as a group, wala na sila. Like,
yeah, like, individually they're all kind of like doing stuff.
oh.
Yeah.
Before kay collective to.
Yeah, like but now like it's like let's say I talked to Kidlat. He's
Kidlat,
one of the founders.
Si Beck.
Yeah, I talked to Kidlat and that's like a community that I'm not super familiar with. But let's say si Kidlat, like he's a full-time
Very established
artist.
person.
Yeah, so he's been doing that. Kung nga na ba? But how did they come up? What was I say? Yeah. So like when Ubek Crew came out, so like we almost came. We were some of the names there was like Ubek something, and we daghan kayo.
There was a time when halos tanan Ubek Crew, Ubek Kings, Ubek Kuan.
Yeah. So yeah, somehow along the way somebody wrote 032, and yeah, it was the one that didn't suck. It was the one that didn't, but somewhere we just stuck with it. No, but makarelate ko nimo ba in a sense nga it takes you long to do something because you think about it a lot, no?
Because I also think about kind of how it's gonna do long term or in the long run.
Yeah, kana misa. That's why like with this podcast for me, it took me actually years to decide to finally do it.
And you think about a lot, like the series of questions you ask, the setup when you're doing it needs to be it needs to be efficient and effective. It needs to be simple. Put para easy come, easy go. Set up, ditsora.
Oh yeah. No, the setup's easy for me. The thing that I took the longest to decide on was, is this something that I can do for a long time? No? So I wasn't sure about that. I knew good nga when I wanted to do the podcast, for example, I knew that I had a lot of things going. I'm not sure I could fit this time-wise, but I don't know if I have the time to do this.
Bito.
And then sometime last year, certain things opened up. And we're like, oh, I have the time that I can do this already. So moto, then I decided I gave myself like 6 episodes to see first if I enjoy doing it. Pero it took me a long time to decide to do something because probably like you, when you do it, you're gonna, you see it to the end, but like as you said, no? It's not. Yeah, it's not like you're just gonna do it for a few weeks and mana, no?
Yep.
Yeah. What do you mean by Provejito in Altum by it comes out in your...
Yeah, wait. Let me chew the Snickers first.
Oh yeah, sige. I may cut that out.
So, Provejito in Altum is a phrase you see a lot in 30 Seconds to Mars videos.
Amo ba?
It flashes for like a few seconds or like just a second. You're like, you're just cool. Something a word or something a phrase. So I freezed the video and saw on Reddit Provejito in Altum. Researched it out. Apparently, the alleged meaning is launched forth into the deep. And to me, it struck because for a long time before, when I do something, nakoy something new nga buhaton, I don't go full on. Half step pa ba? Like kanang, okay, ganang ko musuwayan ni, but gamay lang. I won't really go full on.
You're dipping your toes lang.
Yeah, dipping your toes lang ba? It was a struggle nga I've had for so long. Dili kay ko mo give my all. And so when I read that, launched forth into the deep, it stuck with me. It became so much of the principle and how I do things. Video naman lang gani ka, tarungan na lang buhat. Or kanang maghugas na magiging plato, hugasin na tanan. something like that. But if you're gonna do something, just might as well something you would be proud of. So much so I had it tattooed on me here.
Oh yeah.
It comes to magawa siya in a lot of my projects, even kana mga corporate nga shoots. Every after the video kaya ginagamay nga text ko ito inalto. The client never asks kay murag they don't notice it, I guess, but it's there. Somehow it's there. And I even engraved it in my class ring here. It's a reminder for me. Whatever you do, go deep. Okay. There's so many people karon nga wala mag half-hearted bitaw kayo mo do sa ilang job or sa ilang relationships or sa ilang whatever. Like half-hearted things is just dili siya appealing for me. So if you ever just gonna do something, just give it your all. So it's kind of deep, but for me it's good. The short answer I just give to people is just naman na sa music videos at 30 seconds. Fun. And if I think that there's someone who could go like into a deep conversation, I tell them the whole story. Pretty much the same thing when people ask me about my tattoos. Kasi meaning na pre, ganahan ko mga tanom pre. Butang mo na ako yung mandala dire. But if I feel like someone is like could handle a deep conversation. Actually, it is supposed to do. Come on, I can go deeper if they want to. So it's good that you noticed the Proveto and Altom thing.
Oh yeah, I think it's also in like, was it in your Instagram? I forget.
Yeah, it's in everywhere.
It's in a lot. It's in a lot of.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to end, right? I think it in a way it's. I feel like I didn't realize it, no, but like this Provejito and Altum.
Yes.
Provejito and Altum. I feel like it kind of can describe this whole conversation in a way.
I think so. Yeah.
No? I think it's a good place to end. Where can people find you online?
So, on Facebook, my name is Ezekiel Sullano, Ezekiel Sullano. I think there's no other person named after that. On Instagram, I'm Ezkelion. Funny story there, but never mind. That's Ezke, then Lion.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. And then In Your Element is both on Facebook and Instagram. In Your Element. And on Instagram, it's inyourelement.ph. Because In Your Element alone was taken somewhere else in the world. So, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Bai. Thanks for doing this.
It's good to be here.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed that episode with Zeke Sullano. It was good to connect with the guy, good to talk to him. He was fun to talk to. Oh, and Zeke, thank you so much for interviewing me in Your Element. It was fun. It was weird to watch me on video, but it was good. It was good. Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Cube Gallery. Thank you, Honduro Pizza. And thank you, Kent Combs, for sponsoring the podcast. The music from this podcast is Piano March by Audionautics. And thank you. Yeah, you, the person listening to this podcast. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you still want to support the podcast, you can head over to patreon.com/032. There's some exclusive content there. And depending on how you choose to support, you can get free merchandise. And then that only goes to 032 Patreon members. So head over to patreon.com/032. And if you still want to help but don't want to shell out any cash, feel free to share this episode on social media. The more listeners we get, the more likely we get to continue doing this show. Okay. I'll be honest with you. It is 6 a.m. on the Tuesday that I am releasing this. And it's because I forgot to do this yesterday. And I had to wake up really early so that I can prepare this episode for you. So that it's released on a Tuesday. So it's really early. So I'll see you again next Tuesday. Bye.